and gentlemen, welcome to Retro Warriors episode 554. Woo! As always, I'm your host, Justin Baker, and as always, I'm joined by viable human Chris Saturn.
Hello.
Hi, Saturn.
Hey, Justin.
For housekeeping, everything's the same as it was last episode because we recorded it an hour ago.
Yeah.
And
we record in blocks, so it is still the same night. We are still dealing with shit being fucked.
Yeah, shit. All our shit got fucked.
Yeah.
Reminder, there's a link to the link tree, and that's where all our stuff is. If you want any of our stuff, that's where you find our stuff. You have the link in your possession at this very moment.
Yeah, we can't take. Well, we could take it from you, but we won't. We probably won't take it from you.
Won't. Well, no. Once you've downloaded the notes, it's just on your device. Unless you're streaming it instead of downloading it. I always download it because I go to the gym and I don't have signal out there, so I download it to my phone. But
this guy with his own gym.
Maybe you should, yeah, but I don't have Wi-Fi or cell signal. Also, there's no heater there, and it's cold. Anyway, yeah, we have a link tree. Check that for our stuff, please. Please do that.
Yes.
My week.
Mm-hmm.
I've been trying to peck away at the Trails of Cold Steel 2.
Yes.
I talked about it a little bit in the after party last episode. I'm just out of Act 1 where the game, I don't want to spoil anything, but it opens up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was immediately just extremely overwhelmed by all of the stuff. And all the things that happened all at once. It felt like there was stuff just started happening one after another. And I was like, oh my God. But I'm enjoying it. I'll say this, I'm scared I'm going to quit it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to. I want to finish it, but I'm scared I'm going to take it out and quit it. That's my fear right now. Because I want to finish it, and then I want to go on to Sky the First on PS5 and just kind of, work my way through them. But I'm scared I'm going to take it out and put in one of the, 12 new games I've gotten since I started it that are still in the shrink wrap on my shelf.
And then never see it again.
Yeah, I'm very scared that's going to happen. And I try to tell myself, I'm like, give yourself permission to do what you're interested in and enjoy your free time the way you want. But then also, I know I'm going to regret not finishing it.
Right.
So I'm trying to stick to it. But so much fucking stuff is coming out. And then on top of that, so much stuff is going on sale right now. I don't know why. I don't know. I guess people making way for Switch 2 displays in their stores. I have no idea.
No idea.
But I picked up a lot of games lately. I picked up Grand Blue Fantasy Relink or whatever, that JRPG that came out a year or two ago for $30. I was like, $30, I wanted to play that, sure.
Yeah.
And it ended up being the big limited collector's edition. I didn't even know.
Dang.
And it came in and it was got the soundtrack, and I was like, Jesus Christ, man, what's going on with video games? Why are they so cheap right now? I kind of wonder if maybe just nobody's buying physical games anymore, so they just go get cheap faster. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Also picked up Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1, 2, 3, and 4.
On which platform?
This is on Switch.
Okay. Yeah.
I was looking I went to the eShop to buy one of the new Hamster Console Archives games.
Yeah.
They came out in Ninja Gaiden 2, the NES version.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Which I'll talk more about in a minute in the news.
Yeah.
And while I was there, they had a bundle of all 4 Tony Hawk games. Well, 2. It's 2 games, but each game is 2 games. So it's 4 games.
Mm-hmm.
But 2 titles for $40. So I was like, $10 a game for 4 of some of my favorite games. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm totally gonna do that. And the Switch 1 version of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 plus 2 is bad.
Oof.
It's fugly.
Oof.
It is. I'll say this: frame rate's good, which you really need for a game like that, but it is ugly as shit.
Oof.
Plays fine, but oof. 3 and 4 got a Switch 2 upgrade and plays pretty good, but is definitely the inferior of the 2 games by quite a lot. Tony Hawk 1 plus 2 is for sure the better package. But I had my fun with them. Also in read along for February, Andrew and I didn't say bad things about KOTOR. I want to be clear. We did not say bad things about KOTOR. We said we tried to Well, you did. We said we
Yes.
tried to go back to KOTOR and just didn't stick with it, didn't click with us. We were like, yeah, it was kind of just didn't grab us.
Mhm.
And someone in the chat was like, I'm ready to fight you guys. And I was thinking about that, and I was like, yeah, I should go. Because the first time I played KOTOR, I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
And I had bought it on Switch a million years ago when it was on sale for like $4. It's just been sitting in my library. I've never booted it up.
Yeah.
And so I've been kind of playing some KOTOR. I'm still in the first zone. For people that know the game, I'm just past the sewers to the little hideout thing that you have to get the thing that those dudes stole. You know what I'm talking about, the thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely know in this game that I haven't played.
And it's interesting to be playing it now with all these years of retrospect and talking about RPGs and game design. And because at the time, because you rightly complained, because you're like, at the time, people were like, JRPGs are dead. KOTOR killed them. It replaces them. It's the superior way to play RPGs. And that's been in my head playing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm imagining being someone that's only ever experienced turn-based JRPGs coming to this and like, what would this feel like?
A different genre.
Because it feels a little old and tedious in certain ways, but it's still pretty fun. I'll say I'm having fun with it. It's been a good time. The story's pretty good, but it's really interesting. It's really interesting to come at from that angle of like me imagining in my head that someone's like, oh right, turn-based RPGs are right out now. They no longer exist. It's just this thing, which is still, I mean, pause-based, I guess, But what's interesting is I don't remember it being this way. I guess I don't know. I was too young, or I didn't realize, or I don't know. It's just straight up like D&D 3rd edition rules is the system that they are running. And I don't remember that being the case. And so it's nice because I instantly understand how all of everything works and how all the stats and everything work and the skills and the feats. And I'm like, oh, I know what this is. I feel like that kid in Jurassic Park that's like, oh, this is Linux. I know this. Like that's how I felt.
Yeah.
But yeah, trying to stick to it. Definitely got some clunky moments, but it's been fun. It's been interesting.
That's good.
It's been an interesting time. Saturn, what
Are you still gonna fight that guy though?
Well, he wanted to fight me,
Right? Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
for what you said.
Well, yeah.
Well, so I don't know. We have to schedule it, and then I'm busy and got
right.
stuff going on. So I got a bunch of stuff to do tomorrow. I don't think I can schedule that. What you been playing?
I had.
Uh-huh. You've been playing Go to Work?
Yeah, basically. So, I a few months ago, like a year ago now, when Andrew had first moved in near me, and he just recently moved out, so it's been about a year now.
Yeah.
His light fixtures in his apartment didn't support his smart light bulbs, so he very kindly let me use them because I still have light fixtures in my apartment, unlike his apartment, which was mirror of mine, so it should have had them, but they didn't. They replaced them with these weird LED things that are just built into the wall.
Yeah, those new ones, they're disposable too, so when the light goes out, they just throw the whole fixture in the trash. What whoever fucking invented that needs to go to jail.
Exactly. So anyway, he gave me his smart light bulbs, and I've been using those. And it's nice because I can turn on the lights before I even get out of bed and just have them on. And also they automatically turn themselves off when I leave the house. And then when I come home, they turn themselves back on. It's really neat. Yeah. But I was having this one issue with them where whenever I'd go to bed, I would just instinctively hit the light switch and go to bed. And then you can't control them because the light switch is
they're
off.
Yeah.
And also when you do turn the light switch back on, it seems to forget what brightness it was set at. So it just defaults to all the way bright. And so it just blows my eyes out every time. And so I had taped the light switch so I wouldn't do that. But also it got to the point where if I was already in bed and needed to turn off the lights, that's fine. But if I was walking to bed, I would start thinking to myself, I'm going to have to pull out my fucking phone again to turn off the lights. So I was looking into solutions for this. And I found that some dude was doing reviews for these things. And he was like, and they Philips released this little thing that's a switch that you put on the wall that'll control it, and it also has all the other functions, so that you can set all the different color cycles and you can do the dimming and everything. And I was like, oh, that's amazing! It's a light switch. It looks like a light switch. We just reinvented the light switch.
This is like when that one guy was like worked for Uber or whatever, and he was talking about like group Ubers, and someone was like, a bus. You invented a
you
bus.
invented a bus. And so I bought this newly invented light switch.
Oh my God, Saturn!
And I have to
just
say,
buy a dimmer.
It's amazing.
Oh my God!
Because it still gives me the like, it automatically turns on and off when I leave the house, which is nice. But it also gives me a light switch that I can press that's traditional, and I like it so much that I have now bought more smart bulbs for an additional room, because this light switch was in an annoying place and I didn't like to get to it. And now I've been able to put this new one just wherever the fuck I wanted to. And so now I have a light switch where I want it to be, and it's no longer inconvenient. And I was like, oh, I don't have to rewire anything, and the light switch is where I want it to be. This is amazing. We needed wireless light switches years ago.
I fucking can't with this, man.
Yeah. I feel so dumb for this whole thing, but also it's made my life so much more convenient. And I'm very happy about it.
I don't even, light switches don't even, my wife makes fun of me because I'll like just turn every light in the house on and just never, I'm like, there you go, it's done. And just don't touch them. And she's very much, she's the person that's like, when you leave a room, turn the light off.
Yeah, that's how I am.
And I'm not, I was raised that way, and it is part of my rebellion of my being an adult that I'm like, fuck you. But also every light in my house is LED. Like all of them together probably uses as much electricity as using the coffee maker one time.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, nah, fuck it. I don't care. Just leave it.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah. It's not so much the power draw with LED bulbs. It's more just that I don't want every room to be bright all the time. I like darkness.
Oh, one of those sitting in the dark kind of people.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That is me.
No, I'm not. I'm not that. I don't want to be in a room. Let's do the news.
Okay.
First up, Konami announced Super Bomberman Collection for all platforms of the Nintendo Partner Showcase. Features the 2 NES Bomberman games and the 5 NES Bomberman games, some with brand new localizations. I did pick this up.
Yep.
And,
did you already pick it up? I was waiting for the physical.
I didn't know they were doing a physical, so I was like,
they announced it during the presentation. They said a physical release will be coming this summer.
I didn't watch the presentation, and I just assumed, and I was like, I was even sitting there, and I was like, fuck, man, they're not going to do a fucking physical.
Oh no,
and I bought it. And
it's pre-orders are live. The second that the game went live.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Oh, okay.
But I've been playing it.
Yeah.
And
well, what'd you pick it up on?
Switch.
Okay. All right.
And I don't know. I don't think I like Bomberman.
How could you?
I was playing it with Courtney the other day, and she's like, this is really stressful, and I don't know what's happening. And I was like, yeah, that's how I feel when I play Bomberman 2. And I thought maybe if I played more of it, I'd get over it. And she's like, I'm just upset now. And I'm like, that's how it makes me feel.
Yeah.
But I thought maybe if we play more, I would like it then. And I don't know. I like Saturn Bomberman okay. That one's
How dare
okay.
You? How dare you?
What I don't know. To be fair, I was starting with the first one.
Oh yeah, the first one is pretty bad.
The collection, and then I went to the second one, and I was like,
The Super NES ones are good though. I like those.
I don't know. I need to put more time into it. I will say the interface is cute, has rewind, has decent CRT filters. It has this is real. I don't know if they showed it in the presentation, so maybe I'm just repeating news, but it has a thing where you can unbox it. And so you hit a button and it pulls out the box, and you hit open and it opens the little fake box flap and pulls it out like the way it would have looked in the little tray, and then you can look at the manual.
That's adorable.
Which is dumb, but I love that kind of thing.
That is adorable.
Like, I don't just want a virtual manual. I want to take a virtual manual out of a virtual box and virtually pretend that I'm living in the past. That's what I want to happen.
Yeah.
So it's cute. It's cute. For people that like the games, I think it's a good collection. I'm still trying to kind of come to terms with which ones of them that I enjoy and which ones I don't. I liked Bomberman 94 too.
Yeah.
That was
Turbo.
That was a good one.
A good one. Yeah.
Hamster announced a new series called Console Archives.
Sorry, I meant to mention. I did want to say about the Bomberman collection.
Oh yeah.
It does not support online.
Oh yeah. Because it's game share only on Switch 2 is the only way to play it multiplayer. That's why I got it there, because I was like, if we ever do multiplayer, that's the only way to do it.
Yeah, that's frustrating to me because I don't want to buy it on the Switch too, but I guess I have to because that's the only way to play it.
Well, can I game
Multiplayer.
share it to you?
You can share your copy of the game to me. We could play it online right now if we wanted to, because you could just share your game to me. And we could play
We
it that
should
way.
try that.
We should at some point. Maybe that's the killer feature for the Switch.
Maybe maybe that's the thing that we're gonna be like, this is fucking it, because that is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's a
I
neat
do
idea.
like that. Might be changing our I'm waiting for us to come back next week and be like, it fucking sucked.
Yeah, I fear that's the case. Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. We should try it. We'll try it this week and we'll see.
Yeah.
Hamster announced a new series called Console Archives to run alongside their Arcade Archive series.
Yes.
First two titles are Cool Borders on PS1 and Ninja Gaiden on PS2.
Ninja Gaiden 2
Ninja Gaiden 2
on NES, not on
yeah,
PS2.
Why did I say PS2? On
I
NES.
don't know.
I was reading ahead and it said Switch 2 and PS5. So I just smushed those together.
And also, I don't know if you have been looking at reviews of these, but apparently the Console Archives PS5 version of Cool Borders is better than the PS Classics PS5 version of Cool Borders.
To be fair, it's not hard to be better than a PS Classics.
It is not, no.
I'll say this. I have a bunch of the arcade archives. Oh my God. And I picked up Ninja Gaiden 2 because I love Ninja Gaiden 2 and it's the best of the only 3 Ninja Gaiden games ever made.
Yeah, I agree, yeah.
It's got the little shadow clone power-up, which is the coolest, and it's good. And so I picked it up, and the thing about these Hamster archives is that they're always competent. They're never great. They don't really include a bunch of extras. The filters are kind of lackluster. They don't have rewind or fast forward or anything. They got save states, but you got to go into the menu to do it, so it's a little clunky. They're just I would put them on par with like slightly better than like Wii Virtual Console.
Yeah, I would say that's about right.
But also, they get such a weird eclectic mix that I find myself buying a bunch of them anyway. And it kind of feels very Virtual Console-y to me. We're like, because they got future releases here, and it's Doraemon on NES, Nobunaga's Ambition on NES, Mag Max on NES, Sonic Wings Special, probably the PS1 version.
Yeah.
Dizemon Plus on PS1, Rhapsody on PS1, Master of Monsters PS1, Monster Rancher Hopabout on PS1, and UFO A Day in the Life PS1. What a weird fucking selection of games.
I also like that the Cool Borders, which is the only PS1 game released so far, when you go to its config menu, it shows a PlayStation controller, but they removed the Sony and PlayStation logos from it. Like that'll somehow make you think it's not a PlayStation controller.
Like, I appreciate what Hamster is doing. They don't have the glamour or the polish of something like one of the Sega classics or an M2 done anything.
Yeah.
But they function and they are representing weird old selections of games in a new, and so I like that. I appreciate that. There's no, like, it's just, here's the ROM with some basic features.
Yeah.
But I appreciate that they're doing it, you know? So it's kind of weird because, like, I don't want to shit on them, but, like, if anything is released anywhere else, it's always the better place to get it, except for PS1 Classics.
Right.
But also seeing PS1 games in these arcade or our console archives is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about that. Also, Monster Rancher Hopabout and not just Monster Rancher. What are you doing?
I don't know.
What are you doing?
Well, presumably because you would lose a lot of the functionality of Monster Rancher because there's no CD drives on a lot of these systems.
True, but you can figure something out. A Super Mario 64 hack has allowed for online co-op between PlayStation 2 and N64?
I have no idea how any of this works, but I'm here for it.
What title do they play co-op?
It's Super Mario 64.
So PS2... I can't.
If you go look at the video, it's wild.
What is happening?
We're in the future, Justin.
Oh my God. To be fair, if you told me in the PS2 era that this happened, I'd be like, what are you fucking talking about? This is the craziest shit I've ever heard in my life.
Right?
Diablo 2 Resurrected received a new expansion with a new job class. I think it's Warlock is what it is.
So, yeah.
Also, the game was added to Steam, finally. And it's on PC Game Pass because Microsoft owns it. It should fucking be everywhere.
Yeah. Well, they had to wait for a deal with Ubisoft to end before they could add it to Game Pass. And even then, they can't stream it.
2 decades later, getting a new job for D2 is pretty insane.
Right?
I'm not sure how to feel about it. I'm excited to check it out. I'm sure I'll quit it immediately because it's not Necromancer, but or Barbarian, which are the only two I play.
Yeah.
But I like this. This is cool. I love the idea of like, yeah, we remastered our game and now we're making new shit for it.
Yeah, it's neat.
So that's cool. Sony did a state of play and I missed it entirely today because I was bashing my face into a reverse proxy, trying to set up a reverse proxy.
Well, you missed a lot.
Still don't know what it is, but I was trying to set one up and it didn't work and I missed the state of play. Didn't even know it was happening.
Oh, there was a ton announced. So let's. These are just the retro related things too, because there was a bunch of other newer games announced too, and they look really neat. Some of them look really good, but these are the important things to us in our topic.
All right, new Castlevania game, Belmont's Curse, developed by Evil Empire and Motion Twin, Dead Cells people, coming sometime this year.
Yes, and it looks very Dead Cells as far as its animation style and everything.
Which, of course.
I'm guessing it is more of a Metroidvania style Castlevania than a Classicvania style, based on what we saw. But we didn't see a ton to really distinguish between the two. But we'll see.
Yeah, I liked Dead Cells a lot. I didn't like that it was very hard. But just the animation, the gameplay, and the mechanics, I liked all of that in the game. I physically couldn't finish it.
It's fair. So, it's hard as sticks.
I'm kind of a little fearful. Like, this is for sure like a Castlevania game and not like a roguelite that they've, do we know this?
No, we don't yet.
Okay.
It is called Castlevania. That is the name of the game. That is as much as we know. And we saw some animation of what its gameplay looks like, as well as some story stuff, but we didn't see enough to know exactly what genre it is. It does already have a Steam listing, and I believe there's already a video of it up on Steam as well. So
in my mind, it being called Belmont's Curse makes it a direct sequel to Belmont's Revenge.
It sounds like they just took random words from subtitles of NES Castlevania games. We're like, this is it. Push those together.
Slapped it together. Yeah.
It is being called Castlevania even in Japan. So I don't know what that does or doesn't mean either, because some of the other games were called Castlevania in Japan. So
interesting.
Who knows?
Interesting. Well, we're gonna see.
Because it comes out later this year. We'll find out then.
Yeah. Man, this one's exciting. Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 2 includes Metal Gear Solid 4, which is massive. Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, which is really good. And Metal Gear Solid, or just Metal Gear Ghost Babel, which is impressive for a Game Boy Color game.
Yeah. It's surprising to see that come back. I thought that one was removed from canon.
These are the 3 Metal Gear games I never thought we'd see in a collection.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited for it. I'm very excited for MGS4. Gosh, I hope it's done well. Please, just fuck. I'm
it looks
worried
like it's
about
just clean emulation from like clean looking emulation from what they showed in the video anyway. Just seeing Metal Gear Solid 4 multi-platform on everything, that's good news.
Yeah, for sure.
And that means that the entire Metal Gear Solid franchise is available on all modern platforms at this point.
Which is
I guess 5 isn't on Switch.
You count 5. Rayman 30th anniversary from Digital Eclipse. Includes PS1, Jaguar, DOS, Game Boy Color, and GBA ports, as well as an unreleased Super Nintendo prototype. I've never really been a Rayman person, but I know
I'm not a super huge Rayman person, but it's still neat that they put all these different versions on there to me. I appreciate that.
The most of any Rayman I've played is the Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom, which is technically Rayman adjacent.
Yes.
God of War Trilogy remake/remaster and a new 2D God of War game. First 2D God of War game. I don't know what.
It looks like it's pixel art God of War.
Yeah.
And I can't quite put my finger on from what I saw, because I was kind of fast forwarding it just to watch it before we recorded.
Yeah.
It kind of gives me some Dead Cells vibes, to be honest. But even then, it might not be that. It might be something different. But
I was looking through I was just scrolling through all the news that because I came straight from working on that thing to going into bedtime dinner with my kid and then coming up here to record, so I didn't see any of it.
Yeah.
I didn't see Time Crisis, PS1
Yep.
Time Crisis, PS4, PS5 with gyro aiming,
Yep.
which is pretty awesome.
Yep.
What else? I
There's-
don't know what the John Wick game is, but I'm down for
Yeah.
that.
Also, there's a remaster of Legacy of Kain Defiance,
Yes.
and a new Legacy of Kain prequel coming,
Oh,
which is
new
a
Legacy
prequel.
of Kain.
Yes, a prequel to Soul Reaver called Legacy of Kain Ascendance.
Man, this
There's
is all
a-
very exciting.
They're also re-releasing Dead or Alive 6 on PS5 and announced a new Dead or Alive game is in development. And all they showed of it was just a zoom in on Kasumi's chest because it's Dead or Alive. I guess that's it. Also, they announced a new Brigandine game, which is a PS1 JRPG series to suddenly
Weird.
come back. But
Very weird.
it was a pretty stacked PlayStation Direct. Konami got a lot of attention. They also showed off Silent Hill Townfall, which is coming soon.
Mhm.
They showed that off with a trailer of it. It looks like it might be taking place in Britain, which that'll be neat. And then they showed off what is their octopus game they're coming out with that they announced a few months ago.
Oh gosh.
It looks adorable. It's an octopus like action platformer.
Yeah.
It's like a Darwin's Paradox. And they showed a new trailer for it where they called it Tactical Octopus Action, and there's apparently a Metal Gear themed stage for it where he like comes out of a box and he's wearing a little Solid Snake bandana around his head and everything. It's adorable looking.
Amazing.
I am there for Octopus Tactical Action.
Yeah, man, I'm pretty stoked on MGS4. I'm sitting here trying to like record the show and look at what I missed at the same time. I'm sorry. This is all very exciting.
So MGS4 coming to all platforms now. That's very exciting. The new Silent Hill looks like it's a timed exclusive on PS5. which I'm a
Oh
little
yeah,
disappointed by.
Townfall. Yeah.
Other thing I forgot to add to the news, but it happened today. Dino Crisis 1 and 2 were released on Steam.
Oh, they've been on
Yeah.
GOG for a while, hadn't they?
They have been on GOG for a little while.
Yeah.
And now they have made their jump over to Steam.
Now you can play Resident Evil with dinosaurs.
Yeah. Worse Resident Evil with dinosaurs now on
It's
Steam.
better because it has dinosaurs.
Not true, actually.
Someone needs to mod it so that they can have feathers, because now we know dinosaurs had feathers.
It's true. Yeah, that's a good point.
You know, why don't they do a
That'd-
director's
that'd be
cut of
slightly
Jurassic Park where they put feathers on them and make them look like little burbs?
And then replace all the guns with walkie-talkies.
I think it's the second show of the night. This brings us to our topic at hand, which is Game & Watch Gallery 3. Finally, a game featuring the beloved character Mr. Game & Watch, who debuted in Smash Brothers Melee.
Yes.
Release info, the Game & Watch Gallery games are based on the Game & Watch series of handheld LCD games by Gunpei Yokoi, first debuted in 1980. As far as first encounters, I have never even seen a Game & Watch in real life. Like ever. I didn't know what they were. I had no fucking idea. My first encounter with Game & Watch was indeed Mr. Game & Watch in Super Smash Bros. Melee, and maybe being tangentially aware of the Game & Watch Gallery games, but not knowing what they are. I remember seeing them when I was a kid and seeing the word gallery and assuming it was like an art game or, some kind of like, I don't know what I thought it was. So I never played any of these games.
Yeah.
I never cared about any of them. Just, my first Game & Watch was the Mario Special Edition Game &
the
Watch that came
anniversary
out with a couple
Which isn't
years
really
ago.
a Game & Watch. It's just
Not really, no.
an LCD game.
Well, there's a game on it, and
Yeah.
it also tells time.
Yeah, but it's not a Game & Watch.
So there you go. What about you, Saturn? You're
So-
very old. Did you have
Yeah.
these growing up?
I had a Game & Watch. I had the Mario Brothers Cement Factory Game & Watch.
Uh-huh.
And I'd gotten it after we already had an NES, though. It was
Okay.
people got little LCD games back then. A lot of people got
Oh,
those little
yeah.
Tiger handhelds because their parents hated them.
I had a lot of those, yeah.
Yeah, because your parents hated you.
I'm not going to disagree.
But I had gotten a Game & Watch. That was the one that we had gotten, and it's because I was obsessed with Mario. So my mom got me the Mario Brothers one, and I played a ton of it. I remember sitting at my grandparents' cabin where they didn't have TV service. They had an antenna on the roof, and it could sometimes pick up one of the Denver channels for like 2 hours in the middle of the day, so we could watch news, and that's it. But otherwise, we just had to use our imagination. So of course, I pulled out my Game and Watch and played that for like 8 hours a day the whole time I was there.
Yeah.
And yeah, I remember me and my cousin trying to play Mario Brothers Game and Watch, where I was holding the left screen and she was holding the right screen. So she was controlling Mario and I was controlling Luigi, and that only made it harder.
It's like a proto Overcooked.
Right? Yeah, it was very confusing, but we tried it anyway for like half an hour, and that was also, I remember we were playing Mario Game and Watch when my grandmother thought she caught salmonella poisoning from eating cookie dough. And we were just in the middle of playing.
Had she?
No, we were just in the middle of, we were playing Game and Watch, and she's making cookies, and she apparently decided to taste some of the cookie batter to make sure it was all right. And then just out of nowhere, she starts screaming. She's like, "Ah! Ah!" And we're all like looking up from the living room like, what's going wrong with Grandma? And she's like, salmonella, I got salmonella, ah. And then like 5 minutes later, she's fine and everything is fine.
I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
I do not know.
Me and my brother and my cousin made fun of her for that for years.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So you've got just kind of Game and Watch overview in here, and also the Game and Watch gallery kind of series, because there's not a ton of development information behind this one specific entry, although I did focus on just Game and Watch Gallery 3. Yeah. And I'll talk more about why in a minute. But go ahead and take us through kind of an overview of the Game and Watch as a handheld, as a concept, as a product line.
Right. So as a series of dedicated handheld gaming units. For the kids who don't know this era, it's basically just a very, very simplistic game that could effectively operate on calculator hardware that was released in a dedicated unit. That's the only thing you could do with it. There was no cartridge port. There was no input or output of data. It was just what was on the screen. And it was created by Gunpei Yokoi. He had the idea of creating a portable video game using a segmented LCD similar to those in calculators. And fortunately, at that same time, there was a Russian competition within the calculator industry, a bunch of different companies trying to get in on that sweet calculator money.
Which, to be fair,
was
portable calculators at the time, it was a big fucking deal.
Yeah, it was new tech. It was very fancy. It was a thing. In the late 70s, early 80s. So because of that Russian competition, the prices of LCD displays had plummeted because everybody was rushing to buy them.
Yeah.
And so there was a glut of production. And according to an anecdote, Yokoi had filled in for Nintendo president Hiroshi Yamauchi's driver once and pitched the idea to him on the way to a meeting, and that meeting happened to be with the CEO of Sharp, who was one of the major manufacturers of calculators. So Yamauchi goes into this meeting with this idea on his mind, and it's just like, oh, hey, also, we're thinking about making these games out of calculator technology, and Sharp was like, oh, we can help you with that. Let us get you in with the people who can get you the parts, including us. We will definitely be one of your suppliers.
Yokoi filled in for Yamauchi's driver.
That's the anecdote.
I just can't with some of these stories, man.
Yeah.
What?
And that story has been floating around since the 80s.
Gunpei Yokoi was like, no. I'll fill in for his driver.
And at the time, Yokoi was not known to Yamauchi. Like he was just one of his employees. Was a guy.
Didn't he start like in the factory?
Yeah. He had worked there for 5 or 10 years or whatever at this point, and he had
meetings
with Yamauchi at this point to pitch things like the grabber hand, whatever it was called.
Yeah.
But he wasn't like in tight. He wasn't in the inner circle in Nintendo.
Yeah.
And so when Yamauchi's driver called out, he was like, I'll fill in for him. I want to pitch this idea anyway, and I can't get a meeting with him, so this will give me an opportunity to pitch this idea. And so he just jumped in there.
There you go.
That's the anecdote anyway. Who knows how much veracity there is to it. Both of those men are dead now, so we'll never know. Anyway, So the original series of games had an on-screen clock whenever you weren't playing the game, and nothing else. That was it. Whenever the game was off, you would see the overlay,
Mhm.
because there was a plastic overlay that would kind of give some like background details for the game, and then the little segmented calculatory bits were the characters that would be on screen. And whenever
Yeah.
you first turn on a Game & Watch, everything lights up. The
Which
entire
is neat,
like
yeah.
all LCD elements are on briefly until it warms up. And that's also when it kind of sets its clock and everything.
Mhm.
And then it would be in like standby mode where it would just be the clock and nothing else. And then it wasn't until the second generation of devices in 81 that they even had alarm functionality. So
Yeah.
prior to that, there was just like the time, and that's it. And then the 82 models, the 1982 models, saw the introduction of 2 LCD screens and a clamshell design, similar to what would later become the Nintendo DS.
Mhm.
One of those units being the highest selling Game & Watch, which was Donkey Kong, which also introduced the D-pad.
The D-pad. Yeah.
Somewhat well-known invention, which we still use today on everything.
Well, for those old blocky games.
And for old blocky games.
And
when
for
we're playing-
menus in 3D games.
Yeah, and nothing else, because who would want to use that? And that was the Mario Brothers machine was also a dual screen. That was mine.
Yeah.
So it had
Well,
the
to
2
be
screens
fair,
on it.
Nintendo did ditch the D-pad because the Switch doesn't have one.
That's true. It has 4 buttons. But, well, the Switch Pro controller has a really bad D-pad. Does that count?
No.
No, it doesn't. And also, when Yokoi pitched the idea to Yamauchi, he said that he thought that if it was marketed well and they did well, they would sell 100,000 units, and that was enough for Yamauchi to be like, all right, yeah, well, you can do this thing. We'll sell 100,000 units.
Yeah, which
by
to be
the-
fair, up to this point, they had done some little toys and things,
Yeah.
and I imagine sales were in that ballpark.
Right.
and
By the end of the run, they had sold 43.4 million units worldwide.
A couple more.
Yeah, so that's a little more than 100,000. Prior to the release of the Game & Watch, Nintendo was reportedly over 7 billion yen in debt. By 81, Nintendo had a surplus of over 4 billion yen, thanks in large part to the Game & Watch series of handheld units. So it was a massive success for Nintendo, one of their biggest early successes in electronics.
Yeah.
and-
Arguably kept them afloat when they might not have remained afloat.
Right, yeah. That's why they were talking to Sharp, was they were trying to find ways to make some money to get out of debt.
Yeah.
And there were 60 titles released over the run of the Game & Watch series, starting with Ball in 1981 and ending with Mario the Juggler in 1991, which, fun fact, is Ball, but with Mario.
Oh my God, what?
I know.
So exciting.
So in 10 years, they evolved to the same game, but with Mario.
You did it, Nintendo.
But
Some
no, it
things
was a-
never change.
It was a big thing for Nintendo. Game & Watch was
Sure.
a huge thing, and it was largely forgotten, especially here in the West, until Mr. Game & Watch came around and kind of reminded everybody. There were the Game & Watch Gallery games before that, but they were kind of just a throwaway thing on Game Boy. It was a lesser run, cheapy produced series of things for Game Boy.
Yeah,
But they're fun.
It was the game you could get used for $5 and
Exactly.
whatever. And I actually picked up all.
How
of
dare you
them-
buy a used game, Justin? Don't you know that's illegal?
I actually picked up all of them physically for this show, and spent $50.
Oh, that's a lot for Game & Watch.
It is a
You
lot.
could have bought an actual Game & Watch for that.
No, you couldn't.
Oh,
But I did. I got all 4 for $50 shipped to my door. And, in the realm of retro game collecting in 2026, minor spoiler, these are all good, fun games. And
Yeah.
$50 for a gigantic collection of pretty good, fun games that
Yeah.
do cool things and have cool secrets is pretty good in my opinion.
Yeah. Oh my God.
What?
I'm looking up the price.
Oh, did you look them up? Don't do that, Saturn. Don't do that.
You can get the Game & Watch that I had as a kid, the Mario Brothers one. Oh God, for $60. But
Yeah.
that
In what condition for $60 though?
Tested and working,
Oh, tested and working. There you go.
and it looks like
Yeah.
it's in pretty good shape. That I definitely remember exactly how this looked. Man, they look
Or I
dopey
could
on the
get
cover of
like
that.
40 of the Game & Watch games for $10 less and play them on my pocket.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
Tell us about the Game Watch Gallery games.
Okay,
Did
so
you send me a picture of it? Hold on. Let me
yeah,
let me
that's what the outside of it looked like. It looked so
okay.
derpy on the cover there.
They are. That is a derpy look. Look at that Luigi. Oh my
I know.
God.
It's so adorable,
Orange
isn't it?
sleeves. I was like $60 for that. That's dumb, but I kind of want just this dumb Luigi now.
Yeah, but yeah, I played so much of that fucking thing. Oh man,
God, it looks
so nostalgic. For
Oh,
that.
this
Anyway.
this game is in this collection.
It is. It is. I
Yeah.
went back and played this collection as well for the episode, just to
Awesome. Then
refresh
you can
myself
help
on
me
it.
with some of it.
And I immediately racked up a score of like 300 on Mario Brothers the very first time I tried it too. And but I was like, oh, this looks so weird because it's compressed into one screen. This isn't right.
It
But,
is. I didn't realize this was a dual screen game.
Yes, it was absolutely.
Did not realize that.
Yeah, so good.
Anyway, Game
Anyway,
Watch Gallery
sorry.
overview.
Yeah. So, it first debuted as a Europe Australian exclusive called Game Boy Gallery in '95. Included Ball, Vermin, Flagman, Manhole, and Cement Factory. That's also all of my wrestling names, by the way.
It's me, Vermin, and I'm facing off against Manhole this Sunday.
And then here comes Flagman into the ring. Anyway,
That's our new show. We're just gonna cut wrestling promos
for Flagman.
for Flagman. Yeah.
Um,
And, what was the other one? Spam Boy. That was a pre-show joke.
Yeah, it's Spam Boy. Flagman versus Spam Boy at the Cement Factory. Anyway,
It's the Street Fighter game that never came out.
The first official Game & Watch Gallery game was released for the Game Boy in '97. Very late Game Boy release.
That is very late.
It was followed by a sequel later that year, Game & Watch Gallery 2, which in Western regions had Game & Boy Color support. And
It was one of the black carts. Yep.
Yeah, in Japan it was just a Super Game Boy game, not a Game Boy Color game. Game & Watch Gallery 3 came out in '99, and it was a Game Boy Color game worldwide. And then Game & Watch Gallery 4 was the only GBA release in 2002. Some adjacent releases, you had the Game & Watch Collection and Game & Watch Collection 2, which were Nintendo DS collections released exclusively through Club Nintendo in 06 and 08. And then there was also a Manhole released as an e-reader card. Also, Ball was included on the Super Mario Brothers Anniversary Game & Watch. But it was the Mario-style version of Ball, so it was more similar to Mario the Juggler.
Now, I thought Game & Watch 3 was one of the Game Boy Color compatible games. It was not the, like it works on the original Game Boy, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's Game Boy Color compatible in the West, but it is in Japan. It was not Game Boy Color. Well, it was, you could play it on Game Boy Color, but didn't have any Game Boy Color functionality. It was just Super Game Boy.
I see. Let's talk about the other weird releases because there are some. If you want to go over those.
No, I just did. That was it.
Oh yeah, that was them, wasn't it? Because that was the e-reader too. Okay.
Yes.
I do regret not getting the Nintendo DS collections when they were.
Yeah, me too.
A thing.
But I also never would have played them. So
also they look kind of not good.
Yeah, they don't look as polished as these Game Boy ones did.
Like the Game & Watch Gallery games are very cute. They add a lot to them, which I guess takes us into presentation. So this is all specifically about Game & Watch Gallery 3 because I wanted to play more. I got all of them to play all of them for the show, and then this fucking week happened.
Yep.
And so I just played Game & Watch 3.
Yeah.
Game & Watch Gallery 3 is presented similarly to the previous entries with like kind of a Mario-themed veneer over everything.
Which I don't like.
Really?
Yeah, I feel like it takes away a lot of the charm of the originals.
Oh my goodness.
Like it's cute. That's great, but it's cute in a way that takes away their personality for me.
Wow. I mean, I do think they're nicely presented. I think they do a lot of good, interesting work to get them all to fit on a Game Boy screen.
Yeah, and I do I respect the modernized versions because it makes them more accessible.
Yeah.
But I prefer to play the original style.
Actual in-game graphics on the modern versions of each game are I think they're well done. These are honestly really probably some of the best Mario and Friends sprites that exist on the Game Boy and Game Boy Color.
Yeah, I would agree. They do a really good job of translating some, like even Yoshi's Island characters and sprites translated to Game Boy look pretty good on there.
Yeah, because I mean, there's the games are doing so little that they can put all the horsepower into the Game Boy Color, displaying big, colorful graphics.
Yeah.
So like in Egg, Yoshi's animation is so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, for Game Boy. For Game Boy
Right.
Color, it's so
For
good.
Game Boy, yes.
The versions of Mario sprites here kind of resemble their Mario World versions, I guess, if I had to place them.
I would say they're between Mario World and Yoshi's Island and Mario Isn't Missing. Somewhere in there.
Yeah, it's definitely its own distinct flavor of that era of Mario. They're odd. They're odd looking when you stop and really look at them. Because no other sprites really feel like they look much like them.
Right.
It's very strange. But good looking. I mean, again, they're good looking sprites for the Game Boy Color. It was composed by Noriko Nishizaka. I probably pronounced that wrong. Who is only credited on 3 games: Game & Watch Gallery 2, Game & Watch Gallery 3, and Yoshi's Cookie.
Huh.
The songs themselves are cute little earworms. You know, they're not incredible, but the ones that they're fun enough.
They're inoffensive.
It's fun.
They're charming.
I did want to note so notable character appearances. Because you get all the usuals like Mario, Luigi, Bowser, Princess Peach, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
You get lots of Yoshis, different color Yoshis. You get Baby Yoshi. You get Baby Piranha Plant, who I feel like we don't see very much.
Yeah, that's true.
You get a Wario in here. This is when Wario was kind of making his big debut, this era when he was like getting his own games and stuff.
Yeah.
You get Donkey Kong Jr. in here, who you don't see a lot. Kind of a rare appearance from Donkey Kong Jr. here.
A rare late appearance from Donkey Kong Jr. after he'd been kind of replaced. Well, granted, one of the games in this collection is Donkey Kong Jr.
Right, yeah.
So they kind of had to.
Yeah, but he's there. He's there. Let's talk gameplay. So just to brief everybody, all Game & Watch games have easy and hard modes.
Yep.
And an unlockable very hard mode, which I could not obtain. The easy and hard modes seem to correspond to game A and B settings.
It's just game A and game B settings.
On the physical Game & Watch devices. Like other Game & Watch titles, this one features 2 versions of each game. So you have the classic and the modern. Each mode allows you to select easy or hard, and then very hard if you unlock that. Interestingly, the games here feature autosave. So you in all the games in the Game & Watch Gallery series do this, where you can pause your game and just power off your Game Boy, and it saves your state.
That's neat.
And then you can turn your Game Boy back on and just keep playing. So if you got a crazy high score in Egg, because that's why this is so smart, is because these are exactly the games that you're going to play waiting at the dentist or standing. Yeah, for 2 minutes. You're like, I got 2 free minutes. I'll play Egg, and you can just pause it, turn it off, and then turn it back on, and it works great.
Yeah.
I was very surprised. So, shockingly, all the batteries in mine are all still good because all 4 of the Game Boy Color ones use batteries for this feature, I presume, and saving your high scores.
Right.
Let's talk games.
Yes.
The first one is probably my favorite one, which is Egg. In classic Egg, you are a wolf that must catch eggs as they fall from the 4 corners of the screen.
Yep.
And you have a diagonal button, and sometimes a chicken pops her head out of the house and looks at you.
Yes.
And that's it. That's the game. That's
the
whole thing.
All Game & Watch games are pretty basic.
The modern version is Yoshi, and he's sticking his tongue out and
to
eat cookies as they roll down. Which I'm a little annoyed that the game is called Egg and it's Yoshi and they didn't have me eating eggs.
That was what bothered me about the modern graphics on that one the most. It was like, it's okay that it's Yoshi. That's fine. But come on, guys. It's called Egg.
Yoshi is an egg-based character.
Right?
It's his whole thing.
Maybe they didn't want him to, cannibalize the eggs.
You know what I think it was? I think it was the composer, Noriko Nishizaka, who is credited for Yoshi's Cookie and was like, dude, you got to put my Yoshi's Cookies in there.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right. And then they did it. I like the modern version of this. I'm still annoyed that they're cookies. But then when the cookies start to roll close to the edge, they start morphing a little bit into maybe they're turning into eggs. It's very odd.
Now, I will say the modern versions run a lot faster.
They do.
Than
Especially on hard mode. Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy mode on the classics is sometimes so slow that it's boring. So like Egg on easy mode, I'll check my phone.
Yeah.
It's But yeah, I liked Egg. It was a fun one. I had something else to say about it, and I have
Oh no.
forgotten it. Oh, it's gone. Let's talk about Greenhouse.
Was it about the wolf?
No.
Oh.
Although that Nintendo wolf has never shown up again. Where is he?
I know.
And the chickens?
Yeah.
Oh, where's he at, Nintendo? He could be
yeah,
in
that-
Smash.
That wolf looked very Disney too.
It is a very Disney wolf. It really
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, that was
It really
impressive.
is. Oh, what I was going to say was sometimes the changes they make for the modern versions betray the name of the game, and that does bother me.
Yeah.
That does bother me a little bit. So we'll talk
Yeah.
more about that. Greenhouse. This is a dual screen Game and Watch. An interesting.
Also, a rare appearance of Stanley the Bugman.
Oh yeah, I guess it is, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
From Donkey Kong 3.
This is it's a dual screen, but it's a top and bottom screen.
Yep.
And the way they overcame that, the way they fit it on a single screen, which I never really thought, like, these Game & Watch games are so simple in my head.
Right.
I would imagine, of course, you could fit them on a Game Boy screen.
Right. But they're
And
dual screen.
And you could if you made them tiny.
Yeah.
But yeah, being a dual screen one, what they do is one of the screens is scrunched down.
Yeah.
And when it's scrunched, it shows little itty bitty versions of the sprites of that
Which is
screen.
really adorable.
It is adorable. And you push B and it switches which screen is scrunched.
Yeah.
Now, switching the screens doesn't do anything. You just have the one scrunched that you prefer to be scrunched. I was playing it such that every time I changed screens, I was switching it.
Mhm.
And being a Game Boy, you can still kind of get away with that.
Yeah.
I'd say it's not ideal, but it works well enough. It overcame an interesting limitation in an interesting way, and the tiny, cute sprite versions are just too cute.
Oh, yeah.
So I like this version. I think it was they did a good job with what they had.
And then the modern version of it takes it away from being a greenhouse altogether and just makes it Yoshi spitting watermelon seeds.
Yeah.
But it's really charming looking, and it's a good emulation of Yoshi's Island era graphics for the Game Boy.
It is.
But I still prefer Stanley the Bugman.
Yeah, this one, the modern version of Greenhouse with Yoshi running back and forth, and there's a ladder in the middle. That's how you climb between the two screens, which I think is a cute idea.
Yeah.
Was
it a ladder or a pipe?
It's a ladder in green, like the original Greenhouse.
Oh, okay,
in the modern, it might be a pipe. Now I can't remember, but in the original, it is a ladder.
Yeah.
So what got me was, and this is a thing that gets me in some of the modern ones, because it looks like a Game Boy Color game, I want to be able to move freely.
Yeah.
And in some of them, you can, like we'll talk about Donkey Kong Jr. later.
Mm-hmm.
You don't move in chunks, because being LCD games, traditionally the games move, like a step at a time.
Yeah, segment to segment.
Yeah. And in this one, Yoshi looks like he should be able to freely run back and forth, but he cannot.
Yeah, he goes to segments.
And it confuses my brain because I have trouble telling which segment he's in.
Yeah.
Turtle Bridge. So,
yes.
All right, there's this bridge, right?
Yeah.
And it's made of turtles.
Get out of town.
Okay, and there's a camper, and he's moving his camping supplies across this turtle bridge to his friend.
Okay, yeah.
Occasionally, the friend will go off and unload the stuff, and he'll be unavailable for a moment.
Yeah, that jerk.
And the turtles will sometimes grab a load to eat fish.
Yeah, I think, or seaweed or something.
Seaweed or something. And if you jump on them when they're doing that, you fall in the water and you die.
Yeah, just like in real life.
Just like in real life. This one's kind of really simple. The strategy of it is realizing when your friend is going to be unavailable. And this is the thing a couple of Game & Watch games do, where you'll be doing a motion, an action back and forth, and they make something unavailable for a second, and it messes with your flow.
Yeah.
Which I think is, one, just a really interesting design thing to do with something as simple as an LCD game. Because you get caught up in crossing this turtle path back and forth, and you're not looking at your friend up there, and you're like, oh shit, he's not there. Oh no, my turtle dove. And then you go down.
Yeah.
And I really like classic Turtle Bridge. I think it's really good.
There was an arcade game or maybe an Atari game that I played that was really, really similar to it. And I wanted to say it was called Fireman, but I can't find it. But it just reminds me of that. It's a very simple concept. I'm sure there were 1,000 games that use the same concept just because it is very basic.
All right, so the modern version, Toad is delivering mushrooms across birds.
No, they're Goonies.
No, they're seagulls. It's a
They're
bridge of
Goonies.
seagulls. You can call them Goonies all you want. I've
you-
seen Goonies.
Did you not play Yoshi's Island? His name is Goonie.
They're birds.
Yeah, but they're birds named Goonie.
All of them are
And
named
Tetch-
Goonie?
Yeah, it's the species. It's called Goonie. And Tetris Attack, you play a level where it's Yoshi versus Lakitu and Goonie.
So, what annoys me about this is, again, the game is called Turtle Bridge. This is a bird bridge. They
Yeah,
could have
it is.
made it turtles.
They could have.
It still made it, and you're in the sky. You're not even over water. It doesn't even make sense.
They ruined the whole thing, really.
It's goofy. Also, this one scrolls, which is weird. So you scroll, and there's a little spot in the middle where you can rest at, and the screen scrolls all the way to the right, which is kind of a weird choice because this one would easily fit on one screen.
Yeah.
So I like Turtle Bridge. I much prefer the classic over the modern.
I sent you a picture of Lakitu and Goonie.
Oh yeah, hold on. Let me pull this up. Let me see. Let me learn how to computer. Yeah, I remember those dumb seagulls. Let's talk Mario Brothers.
Yeah. This is
So-
the one I'm most familiar with.
Classic Mario Brothers. The conveyor belts are moving opposite directions, and they're lifting packages to the top of a warehouse, and the Mario Brothers have to hand them up each level, and you control each Mario Brother independently on each side. So as they
Yes.
hand them up, you have to move the other one up to grab it to
Yep.
make sure it worms its way up this conveyor belt.
Yep.
And whatever part of your brain you need to do this does not exist in my brain,
Oh.
because I am controlling two mans, but I am one man's, and I know can do.
Yeah, I immediately was just racking up the trucks over and over and over again.
No,
Just
I'm
my muscle memory immediately came back the second that I came back to this game.
terrible at this game.
I also love that as soon as you fill up a truck, the two Mario Brothers immediately stop to take a break, and then their bosses come out to yell at them.
I do
and
like
then you
that.
go back
That's a
to work.
cute
That's
touch.
adorable. I
Yeah,
always
that
loved
is,
that.
and something they took out of the modern version, I believe.
Mhm.
I don't think it's there, although I didn't fill up a lot of trucks because
It's
I'm
not, no.
very, very bad at it.
In the new
Um,
version, you just get a star each time, and it's lame.
Yeah. So the modern version, enemies are no, that's the other one. Modern
Yeah.
version, Mario and Luigi move and package various items along the conveyor belts. At the top, they are tossed into a truck. That is, apparently I forgot how to type while I was writing this. I typed at the top, wrong there, tossed intro a truck drive by Wario. Yeah.
Yeah, close enough. You're close to English. It's
I've
fine.
had a hard week.
Yeah.
They toss the packages into a truck driven by Wario.
Yeah.
And
You
Bowser.
can kind of tell it's Wario, almost.
You kind of can. Bowser is at the top of the assembly at the conveyor belts, just looking
Hanging out
mad.
for some
he doesn't
reason.
do anything.
He doesn't.
I thought that maybe he'd like stomp and knock the packages down. He doesn't do anything.
No, he just stands there.
Also, there are levers by Mario and Luigi in opposite corners, and I don't think they do anything.
I don't think they do anything.
I
I
don't-
can't tell.
I can't figure it out. I'm like, why are they're big levers? Like, why are these here?
In the original, whenever the bosses would yell at them, their heads would like duck down, like they were getting smacked or something.
Yeah.
And I was disappointed that I didn't see that in this version.
One thing I do find extremely cute about this one is that as the package is going up the conveyor belt, it's eggs, and they'll be
Yeah.
adding more eggs each level, and then at the
Yeah.
top they put the cap on, and then throw it in the truck. So I
Well,
thought that was a cute touch.
In the original, it looks like they're adding like beer bottles or something. I never. Could
Yeah,
tell
it looks
exactly
like
what it was.
It looks like bottles.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to tell.
Yeah. Even
but
on the
yeah.
original Game & Watch, it's kind of hard to tell exactly what it is.
Let's talk Donkey Kong Jr.
Yeah.
The classic one, Donkey Kong Jr. has to avoid enemies, climb up to a key that then releases Donkey Kong Sr., which feels weird to call him that. Grabbing the key, this is what gets me about this. I played this for 20 minutes and was like, I cannot get the fucking key. How do you get the key?
You have to time it.
It's like a horizontal jump. You have to hold over while you jump.
No. It's just a
No?
jump button.
God damn it.
It does not understand two inputs at the same time.
That's
It's
what
Game
I
&
was
Watch.
thinking. I kept trying to grab it, but
No.
weirdly
It's a timing thing. You have to jump when it is
far
facing
left.
to the left. Yeah.
Yeah, but when you jump, you go left.
Right.
But it doesn't make sense because it just did mess with my brain.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out what it wanted. I kept trying to grab the key when it was at its lowest
These
point
are-
because in my head, I'm like, you jump up.
These are very, very simple
Saturn,
machines.
leave me alone.
They can only do so many things. You're overcomplicating it because
I
you're thinking
guess
of it like
so.
a video game.
I guess so. That
Yeah.
must have been what I, for the longest time, I was like, how do I get the damn key?
Yeah,
And I kept thinking, because there's a weird vine in the middle, I was like, do I climb this and get up on the branch? Like, what am I missing here?
Hmm.
It was hard. But once I figured it out, it's pretty fun. It's simple. The modern version, the enemies are replaced with Mario enemies.
Mhm.
And the key becomes an item that you grab and then take to the cage instead of the objective itself. And there are now levels that change as you progress.
which makes it feel like a completely different game.
Yeah, it does feel like it makes it feel like a whole ass game that they
Yeah.
stuck in this game. Now, I don't know how many levels there are because I'm not very good at it. But I was kind of impressed. I was like, this is like a really upgraded. It's like more of Donkey Kong Jr. game inspired by the Game & Watch.
I didn't play long enough to unlock anything, unfortunately.
Oh, well, let's talk unlockables.
All right.
As you progress, you score points and you gain stars that will let you unlock secret items. Unlockables are pretty bare bones for the most part. The unlockable games have like so here's what I didn't know about Game & Watch. You play the unlockable games and there's no backgrounds on them. And I was like, oh, I guess they didn't do the backgrounds on them. But one, I didn't unlock them all, so maybe the later ones have backgrounds because like you unlock Donkey Kong 2 at one point.
Yeah.
But like Flagman and Judge, there's no background on these. It's just a dude standing on a screen. But I think that's how the original Game & Watches were
Probably,
as
yeah.
well. Yeah. So Flagman is just Simon with numbers and flags.
He's
That's
fighting
it.
at the cement factory tonight.
The Judge this is interesting. This is a 2-player game. You can play with a link cable.
Oh.
And the 2-player version replaces the hard mode. And it's 2 guys with hammers that are taking turns hitting each other.
That's what judging is.
You press A to raise your number. The larger number wins.
Oh, yeah. I remember
But if
that
the
one.
lower number stops first, they win. So the goal
Yeah.
is to be the first to stop and have the higher number.
Yeah.
So it's neat. Lion is a game where there's lion tamers on either side of a hole-filled cage trying to block lions with chairs. Uses kind of similar separate vertical movement to the Mario Brothers game.
Yeah.
Spitball Sparky is Arkanoid, but you're a snork. That's what it is.
Okay.
Donkey Kong 2 is a dual screen game.
Mhm.
This is pretty complex for a Game & Watch. So Donkey Kong Jr. traverses electric wires on the bottom of the screen to get to the top of the screen, or the top screen, to unlock 4 chains holding Donkey Kong captive at the top of the screen. Which is has to be one of the more complex Game & Watches. Like, there's a lot going on.
It was a relatively early one from what it looks like, because that one was released the
Really?
same year as Mario Brothers.
I was looking at it and I was like, man, there's just a lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
It may just be that both screens are really different obstacles.
Yeah.
Because the bottom screen's like electric wires and enemies, and the top screen's like chains and stuff.
I
So
see,
it
yeah.
looks very visually diverse.
Honestly, it looks more like the Donkey Kong Jr. arcade game than the Donkey Kong Jr. Game & Watch does. So they probably
Weirdly
just
enough.
did that. Yeah.
You can unlock fire. It's like when you get Secret 2 and it's you activate it in a weird way. You can't pause it, and it's an inverted version of fire.
Weird.
I didn't get this one.
Oh.
But then there's the gallery. And so in the gallery,
Mhm.
you unlock just pictures of Game & Watch systems
Well, the Game Boy Color was well known for its photorealism.
with little blurbs about them, but the picture of the Game & Watch, they like have a picture of it, but it's just like a Game Boy Color sprite representation of the picture. Like, it's not a picture.
Well, yeah,
It-
it's because
like-
that's what the Game Boy Color could do.
It's neat, but I don't see why I would look at them very much. I don't.
Yeah,
I,
that
you
seems
get a little
weird.
blur, and the blurbs are like, fire, put out fires. And there's a little picture of the fire Game & Watch, and you're like, neat. One of the unlockable secrets tells you that you can link Game & Watch Gallery 3 with the first and second game to unlock their gallery items too,
Oh, fancy.
which I did because
Yeah.
I bought all of them.
Yeah.
I was prepared. But the problem is, in Game & Watch Gallery 1, to unlock everything in the Game & Watch Gallery 3 with it, to even connect with the link cable, you have to have scored 1,000 points in every version of every game.
Okay.
And I don't know who's played Game & Watch games before, but scoring 1,000 points
It'll take a few hours, yeah.
That's pretty hard.
Yeah.
That's a hard thing
That's
to
gonna
do.
take some time. With
So
Rewind, it'd be easy, but it'd still take some time.
used a Game Genie, which made it so that every point I got gave me 1,000 points.
Oh, okay.
And then it only took me about 20 minutes.
Yeah, I bet. I'm surprised it took that long.
And then I unlocked all the museum items, and I was like, yeah, I got them. And then I looked at 2 of them, and I was like, that's boring. I don't know. It's like, it's cool that they wanted to do that, but like, I don't
think the hardware was up to it.
Who wants to go look at a sprite picture
Yeah.
and have a thing be like, Mario moves cement?
Yeah.
Like, there you go. You did it.
Yeah.
It's just it was strange. It's a strange inclusion. Like, I'm not upset by it, but it doesn't do anything for me. It's just weird.
Yeah.
As far as reception,
Mm-hmm.
it did okay. 8 out of 10 from IGN, 8 out of 10 from EGM, 2 out of 4 from Daily Radar, which I don't only included because their scale was a 2 out of 4.
That's a weird scale.
It is a weird. It's like, I give this a 3 out of 7. This is strange.
Oh, perfect score.
Overall, the series in general seems to be pretty well liked, and this entry is included in that.
Yeah.
There is some critique of the staying power of the games individually, which obviously. But reviewers seem to enjoy the unlockables that keep you working toward things. And overall, reviews seem to think this was a good fit in general for the Game Boy Color, and I'm inclined to agree. I think it's exactly what the Game Boy needs: is tiny little snippet games that you can quickly pause and then pick back up, even when you turn the power off to save battery.
Yeah, but will they tell you the time all the time?
No, they don't tell you the time at all ever.
Fucking waste.
It's just upsetting.
Throw it in the trash.
Throw it in the trash. As far as legacy, Mr. Game & Watch was brought to Smash in 2001. Yep. And I have to imagine that was in part due to Nintendo kind of making these games around that same time.
Probably, yeah.
He, as a character, apparently predates Pac-Man by 1 month.
Huh.
I did not know that.
That maths. I can see that, yeah.
Which is very weird, but
Yeah.
There you go. It's a thing I learned.
Yeah.
And they made some more of these.
Mm-hmm.
They only got one real direct sequel, but Nintendo is aware enough of the franchise to have released Game & Watch Gallery 3 on Nintendo Switch Online, as well as on the 3DS Virtual Console. There was Game & Watch 4 released on GBA. There was, like you talked about, the DS collections that were Game Club exclusive.
Yeah.
But they kind of kept doing it, and then they thought, fuck that, let's never do any of that shit ever again.
Yeah, I would love to see some of these get a release on the Switch in some sort of weird emulation-y way that looks more like the originals.
I'd be even happy with just a new, like, if they just did a Game & Watch gallery with, like, 30 of them for, like, $40. Like, I'd buy that.
What would be really nice is if they released a Game & Watch Anniversary Edition that just had all of these different
fucking
games
Game & Watch games on it
Yeah.
instead of bad versions of other games that
of
don't
NES
play
games.
right. God
Yeah.
damn it.
Right?
I was so annoyed when you're like, yeah, the reason your Japanese Zelda-ROM is fucking up is because you're playing it on the dedicated Zelda handheld you bought.
Yeah,
that's a poor way to play it.
Yeah,
What?
It's got a bad screen for that.
God damn.
Yep.
So dumb.
Yeah, I'm just looking at these pictures of the original Mario Brothers Game & Watch, and it's just flooded with nostalgia from this thing. I remember it's got a ribbon cable that connects the two screens.
You can see it, yeah.
You can see it in the spine of the console, and I remember I was constantly trying to touch it and rub on it, and my mom was like, "Don't mess with that; it'll stop working." I was like, "Oh, I want to cut it so bad," but
so weird.
Yeah,
what a weird.
I don't know why.
As far as final thoughts, I didn't own these on Game Boy, even being a big Game Boy collector, because I always thought they'd probably be intensely boring and I wouldn't like them.
They're pretty dry, but they're still entertaining.
I was pretty wrong. I had fun with them. Yeah, they're a good time.
They scratch that arcadey itch.
Yeah, they're still individually pretty affordable. I mean, each one of them is between $10 and $15, depending on. I think the most expensive one I bought was $13. You know, so like even the original cartridge is still pretty cheap. It's on Nintendo Switch Online.
Yeah.
Of course, there's no Game Boy Link cable, so you can't link it up with your Game & Watch Gallery 2 and 3. You can't play two-player Judge.
Just throw the entire system in the trash.
But yeah, I had a fun time with them. They're just one of those things I had always seen in the bottom of bargain bins and
Yep.
just assumed it was like boring or bad and never bothered with it. And there's some really cute stuff here.
Yeah.
I think I enjoy some of the games from maybe Game & Watch Gallery 2 a little bit more than the ones in Game & Watch Gallery 3.
I'm so glad we went with this one because it gave me a chance to relive
talk about
the
Mario
Mario
Brothers.
one. Yeah.
And I did pick this one because it's on Nintendo Switch Online. So like maybe
Nice.
people that have a Switch will go check it out and play it and
Yeah.
play some Game & Watch games.
Right.
And you can let your friends join and watch, and they can do the little clap button where they
Yeah.
clap every time you score a point.
Every time you score a point, perfect.
It'd be great.
Yeah.
So yeah, these are good. I had a fun time
Yeah.
with them.
It's good times.
Final thoughts, Saturn?
No, it's I am flooded with nostalgia from these things. I always thought the original versions were really super charming. I'm still not 100% sold on the modernized versions on these collections.
Yeah.
They don't. They're cute, but I don't like them as much as the original. The original really has that janky, ancient, calculatory charm to them that really hits me.
What gets me is they're so lovingly done.
Yeah.
And obviously some real design work went into them.
Yeah.
But they do shit like Turtle Bridge is no longer a bridge of turtles.
It's so weird.
What are you
So fucking
doing?
weird. I would love to see the original Game & Watches in a collection on a piece of hardware that has the resolution to recreate them accurately.
Yeah.
And while they're at it, they could do a new modernized version, though they'd probably screw that up too.
Yeah, probably. Anyway, it's not screwed up.
Not Discord.
It's our Patreon. Patreon.com/Retro Warriors. You can get uncut versions of this show where you can hear
Yes.
the legend of Spam Boy. Well, that's last show.
That was last
But,
episode.
whatever. Go back an episode. It's there.
Right,
You can
yeah.
learn about Spam Boy. You can get Talking Wizards. You can get Read Along. You can get other stuff that we do. That's the song I wrote about all the things we have at our Patreon. Patreon.com/Retro Warriors.
You'll hear the full version of that song.
Oh, God.
He's going to record it and he's going to make album art.
Now I'm on the hook.
Yep.
We want to thank the following patrons for giving us money. EMD,
I'm your little butterfly.
Matt Stone,
Orange Joe.
Oneonoi,
JS.
John Fry,
J-Dog here.
Carl,
And Rantic.
all give us money. And we
Yay.
appreciate their money so much. It's great. It's so useful for so many different tasks.
Yes.
I can do all kinds of things with money,
Like trying to replace Discord.
like trying to replace Discord. At this point, I am throwing money at the problem.
Yep.
So, we're paying for
Yeah.
hosting.
Yeah.
See how that goes.
Yup.
Anyway, thank you for listening. We'll be back next week. And as always, let us cling together.